Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of Terra Invicta. Um, I just thought I'd start because when I loaded in, I saw this screen and I thought it was quite interesting. We can see when all the aliens are about to arrive. So, in almost not quite half a year, because it would be here, but in 4 months or so, this ship will arrive, which will probably have an alien counselor on it. 3rd of June. This one will arrive in February. So, this is when the next counselors are coming. It's quite interesting. And another thing I noticed when watching the last video, when going through it, was that I never actually explained why I'd kept Sydney. I was always going to fire him. I said he's useless, and then all of a sudden I'm not firing him. And I realized I just kind of sat there and thought to myself, didn't say anything. Which was the reason why. Was when I was looking at Sydney, I saw this trait here, military engineer, which is 2% to military priority. And what that means is that a country is essentially 2% more effective at doing military. So for every 26, we'd put in a little bit more. But then I was thinking, 2% air doesn't matter, but I saw it on the funding one. If you upgrade it, 5%. Well, 5% is pretty good. But if that can become 10%, all of a sudden, so when you're upgrading military score from a military score of 5 to a military score of 6, you're actually upgrading to a score of 6.1, which is a 10% overall military increase if you're at 10%. You know, if I'm going from a 5 to a 7, that's a 10% military increase with just this. So that might do something for me. An innovative new research projects will trigger. So when you do a tech, essentially the techs unlock other techs, but you have to wait for that. It doesn't just happen, as you saw earlier. So when you do a global tech, it will then unlock your personal techs. But another 10%? I don't know. Maybe that will add up. Maybe that might be nice at a critical moment where I desperately need something, which can totally happen, where you're like, I really need this next level of weapons, or I really need this engine. It's so important to me right now so I can actually build a fleet. Having this happen, another 10%, might be good. He just exists, just passively doing this stuff. It might be nice. Also, I just saw this as well. 5% information, +1 science, +20. Amazing. Beautiful for our little sciencey Sydney. Now, in the last episode, we had finished grabbing up America, and we are waiting for Deep System Skywatch, the event, to happen, which will annihilate us. So until that happens, we need to pick something for America to do. And I am going to... See, America does 2.3 boost. That might be enough boost. We might be okay. It'll be a bit tight, I think, because we're going to need boost to get to the moon, boost to get Mars bases, and then we're going to need boost to build mining platforms on Mars and the moon. And it can take quite a lot, take 30 or 40 to get that, but just a thing on the moon, hopefully, or Mars, what we need to be is not just a base there. Each planet, when you go to get stuff, has 9 sites, and these will all be randomly generated every game. So there are 9 possible bases on the moon. One of these, or 2 of them, have a chance of being incredibly good. And it's essentially first come, first serve. And if I don't have enough boosts to be first come, first serve for literally every single good point in existence, that is bad, because then I'm not getting all the best stuff. And we can't have that. That would be a disaster, so... That is why boost is important early game. And who has actually done? So Russia, Protectorate. Because Russia has all the other starting boost with a lot. Because Kazakhstan has this province here, which has an insane amount of opening boost, 2.5, but then all that goes to Russia. Because they're in the Eurasian Union together. The Eurasian Union aggregates all the boost to the biggest countries, or just based on size, and Russia's much bigger, so Russia gets pretty much all of it. So the servants have had a point, so that it's the servants and the protectorate, they'll be fighting me for a lot of these early things. They'll have a bunch of boost as well. And a bit more boost, it's a very short-term thing, but we need long-term goals. And what do we need of America? We need to sort it out. Because when that event fires, that will knock down our control points, all countries below 5 cohesion will also lose a cohesion. So we'll be on 2.7, and all of a sudden, our unrest will begin skyrocketing. And yeah, we can't have that. So what we're going to do So we are going to begin deciding how we're going to invest American points. We will start with welfare. We want a little bit of government. We will do a little bit of military. Obviously, we'll do a lot more later, but for now, just a little bit. Economy we don't want, because we're over our cap as it is, quite frankly. So economy just increases your overall economy score. We can't really have an economy score go up, so we're not going to do that. Welfare will just decrease inequality. Just knock that down, which knocks that up. That's what we want to see. Knowledge increases our cohesion a little bit, but that's kind of like, that's not long-term cohesion, that's kind of like temporary cohesion. And increases your education score, which we don't need. Government will increase democracy, which is important. And that's that. Funding, so we don't want to spoils it. We don't want anything else, really. So, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Now, one of the things that happens in this game is there is... So these can be the bonuses, but one of the things this game does is at the bottom here. This changed recently, so I'm still a little bit confused, but I think it's more or less the same thing. Directing investment points to the welfare priority confers up to a 10% bonus to all other investments for a particular control point. Bonus scales with proportion investment point directed to this priority. So I think what that means is as long as your share is up to 10%, you gain a bonus to everything else. I don't know how much. Our investments in the welfare priority are receiving a 4% diversity bonus from other priorities. So because we have it here and here, welfare is getting a little buff. So if we put a bit more, for example, in knowledge, which I assume would have the same thing, we'll get a 5% bonus. So if you diversify your points, just like with research, you get a bit more overall. So that's why we're going to put a little bit in military, a little bit in government. You always want to just put a little bit here and there. And of course, government is getting an 8% diversity bonus, and military is, because we've put so much in welfare. And before it was basically like, as long as you put a point in, the game was happy. It was like, here's your full bonus. And now it wants you to commit a little bit more to it, which is interesting. So for now, we're just going to do this. Just going to try and stabilize this ship before it sinks, essentially. And we will begin. Oh yeah, and also we're way over, so we won't begin. We will, unfortunately for Canada, we will abandon Canada, because we just don't need it anymore. And what nations do we actually have control of right now? We have America and our spoils. We still need the spoils. Our money is not that high. We're 220 out of 179, 195. We can handle that. Another thing I'm going to do as well is I'm going to rename all these army divisions so that they're actually readable. Because one of the things you've noticed here is that how do I know which country these armies are from? Once you have multiple countries, how do you know which country they're from? This one says South Korea, so is it a South Korean army? No, it's an American army, because America starts with an army in South Korea, which we don't want, so we're just going to do army go home. But what, like, it's just, it can be quite difficult. They've added this here. This didn't even used to be a thing. And I just like to name them all what country they're from. So once you have a bunch of American armies, EU armies, Chinese armies, and then like, you know, your 1 or 2 Japanese armies, you know where everyone comes from. And it's just so much easier to organize. Sometimes this game can get a little bit out of hand, and having your stuff be organized helps so much. So we will name up our armies. There we go. Okay, turn. Sydney. Now that we fully have America as well, I'm going to have Sydney do the advise mission. Well, so it should, as I understand it, he has 6 admin, so it'll basically be a 6% boost to the number of points we get here, and then 10% science, it'll be a 10% science boost. This isn't great, but once you're, 25, all of a sudden that's 25% science, 25% administration.
Lending my expertise.
It's pretty good, but for right now it's not. But we'll do it anyway, because Sydney has literally nothing else to do. And Svetlana's kind of done her big role. So she can just sit here doing public campaign, which means I don't have to mess around with Unity. Leia can get back to trying to see if we can find this alien, as can Alp.
Ready.
There's a point to the servants in Lithuania. Aliens, maybe aliens are nearby. Let's have a look.
Ready for orders.
And you just keep stabilizing. And let's go.
Offering counsel.
Yeah, research output by 10%, investment points by 6%. Not amazing, but, you know, we're going all crazy because Sydney gives 5%, so maybe it's better than I thought.
Things are cooling off.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Yeah. You see, the spoiled priority is now gone, so this month minus 0.0, it's slow, but we will have these countries for years and years. It's all about forward planning, long-term goals. Okay, the servants have grabbed a point in Mexico, that's fine. As long as they do stuff with Mexico that isn't going to screw it over, I'm perfectly fine with them taking all the control points. Okay, so now the normal turns have started, so up until this point we've basically been on double speed. We've all turned being once a week, now it's twice a month. So every 2 weeks. So that means the game should go quite a bit quicker now as well. Because we are in this screen less.
Where to?
I'm here. Initiating surveillance.
I like humanity first, India. You just want humanity first to be powerful.
At your service.
Because they only care about fighting aliens. And I guess just random people as well.
We'll make things safe.
At least they're kind of annoying, but
Offering assistance.
Surveilling target area.
we will hopefully be too powerful that something like India, I mean, it's not going to be a threat to America anytime soon. And not with the AI building it. Okay, so here we go. This is the event. Images of obvious alien military ships and structures in the far solar system has dashed hopes for peaceful contact. Many of who wish to seek an avenue of cooperation with the aliens, us, are changing their views in light of some of the first hard facts about their arrival. Half our control points are cracked down, we suffer a massive public loss opinion around the world, all nations' cohesion moves towards 1 by extreme, so 3.5, which we were on, 2.5. So what do we got? Oh, another great thing, which, yeah. So, Canada, perfect. Ireland, perfect. Canada, perfect. Corporations, 2. Oh, okay, so America suffered 4. Pause. So, our influence has gone to nothing. We go Intel, global. This is overall popularity. We are now small. We're not quite the smallest. Being evil is the smallest, but so what we're gonna do is go to design. Oh, can I not? Okay, it doesn't matter. What we're going to do, very quickly, because we can't have this, essentially people will now look at our control points, see them cracked down, and they will take their agents and they will try and do purge missions on us. So what we need to do is essentially get this all the way maxed, back to fully green. And how do we do that? Oh, Unity. Burst 1.
Order is returning.
Burst 2.
Move the needle.
She does a nice little extra 4%, very nice. Oh, someone else, if you just saw it, went back down. So someone else, probably this agent, is doing a public campaign mission in America, which is really, really annoying of the AI. I wish they would leave me alone, but they're not going to. Okay, more Unity, please. Victor 2 has arrived. Where is it going to land? Michele, okay. Classic spot for the AI. Yep, they're taking our Mexico points. That's all good. They can take all the points they want, but the aliens shouldn't have. The aliens shouldn't have enough espionage to do a purge. Because if we have a look at how likely purge is, right? Leia Abbott. Let's say we wanted to purge these servant points here.
Ready for orders.
Size of national economy 13.6. Now, if you remember, with America, this penalty was like 27 or something crazy. Like if we do India, it's 21.8 with a GDP of 10. America has a GDP of 22. So it's not that easy to do this mission. Now, if you have a crackdown, that gives them a thing of -10. So essentially, for them to purge America is as hard as for me to purge India, right? Which, if you think about it, I'd need an espionage of more than 7, put it that way. I don't think the AI have agents of more than 7. And of course, once you counter in stuff like the popular support bonus, right? With India, we have a little bit more public support than Humanity First, who have none. So we gain a little bit. So as long as we have a massive popular support defense, and then we also have a big country as the academy, essentially this event will just be like annoying because we won't be getting the boost or as much resources. This is how much we get because we only own 2 out of 6 points. So we get less resources for a while, which is annoying, but we're not going to lose America. We will keep America the entire duration of this. And honestly, our public control is back to where, more or less where it wants to be. So let us do this. Not knowledge, government, please. Thank you. Get it all back to normal.
Where to?
Sydney, investigate alien activity.
Ready to go.
Standing by. On
Let's
Overwatch.
really try and catch this one.
Reporting in.
I'm here.
Fine, let's just keep it Mexico, I think.
We'll turn down the heat.
At your service. I will
Keep
tell our story.
public campaigning in America for the XP, and let us continue. Yeah, still nothing. Oh, okay. Oh no, that's not the one. Okay, it's not the one. There's an org which has a similar picture to this that is American that gives insane military bonuses.
Setting a watch.
I would imagine by now they must have nerfed it. Maybe this is the one. I mean, that's not terrible.
Mum's last years were a blur of
Orbital shipbuilding, amazing. Now you can build ships in
Public
orbit.
opinion is moving in our direction.
Things are stabilizing.
Critical success, reduced unrest by 1. Very nice. You see, the AI just do not care about arrival domestic politics. They're all about electromagnetism and space travel, and I mean, this is important, but not for right now. We need social stuff. Oh, America's gone down to 4.1. I mean, it's 4.142, so it's just ticked over. Okay, our Irish points are going. You can see the game is moving a lot faster. It doesn't look like it, but all of a sudden we're getting way more resources.
We'll make our appeal.
Ready for orders.
We'll keep advising, because even though these are cracked
I
down,
will help.
we still get to invest as much as we want. So we will continue doing what we're doing.
Initiating
Please
surveillance.
find an alien doing alien abductions,
Reporting
guys.
Where to? Initiating recon.
We'll restore peace to this nation.
If an alien critically fails an abduction, I don't know if it's a critical failure, because there's so much... It's hard to find info in the game.
On Overwatch.
Because it's not really... It's just... I don't know. I've just always found it tricky, so a lot of it you kind of have to work out yourself. But I've always believed that sometimes you will just see like, oh, an aliens are doing an abduction here, and it's just like I have no one nearby. It just randomly happens, and I think it's a critical fail. If they critically fail it, you see it. So I think we're basically just waiting for them to critically fail. Interplanetary warships, amazing. Thanks, orbital shipbuilding.
The people will come to our site.
We'll do that with our 0 space resources and 0
Violence is
anything.
abating.
We've got another critical success in Mexico. We're down to strife 3.7. So yeah, see the servants are doing a little bit of spoils here, which is just annoying. Although we won't be getting money because we're cracked down. But other than that, they're doing things like government, knowledge, welfare. The servants get it, somewhat. Fractured 1.7, yeah. And with that, the rest value of unrest, as you see right at the top there, is a very top paragraph. Absent unusual circumstances, rest value of 6.9. So then that's what we're trying to knock down. Rest value of 0.085. So America's rest value is actually alright, weirdly. But that's because its cohesion has not hit its rest value of 1.2. So we want a cohesion rest value of 5. One of the reasons for that is science. The closer cohesion is to 5, the more science you get. So this is why too much cohesion, like countries like Russia, which are currently on a 9.9, which the max is 10, so that's pretty impressive. It really hurts your science output. Is there a way it shows that? I think if you read it here, it's always good to read these tooltips because they have so much info on them.
Where do you need me?
Advising,
What's the op?
campaigning.
Making our case.
What we'll do is we'll drop unity down to 1. So we'll always have it just a little bit ticking, but very little.
Surveilling target area.
Standing
Nothing.
by.
Come on, alien.
Standing by for orders. We'll make things safe.
Oh, here it is. Air Force Research Laboratory. 20% military. It is completely insanely broken. This is what I was talking about earlier. Look at that. 20% military, 20% build army, 20% build navy for 2. I don't know what kind of insane stuff is going on here, but Air Force Research Laboratory is the most insane thing ever. We also have this, Mogul Intelligence Broker, +2/+2. Now anything that's both, so if it's 2 for 2 investigation and 2 espionage, I always love to put that on my investigator. The reason why is because espionage, a lot of these traits, sure you use them for investigation missions or espionage missions, but they always have like passive bonuses. So persuasion and command and administration, every point of that gives you an extra one of these. I don't know where it says that actually. Oh, here we go. It says it here. Administration, command, and persuasion gives you more of these. That's there, but espionage reduces their chance of being found, and later on, people will be coming for us. Like, if the servants see our counselors, they will essentially just try and kill them, just straight up, because they're like that, once we're actually at war with the aliens. For now, we can kind of be a bit silly, but AI will not like us, and they will just, even if we're not even at war, they'll just be like, yeah, let's kill that one. Why not? And if your counselors die, these guys are not immortal. They can just die, and you put all this investment in them, you level them up, you do all this, and they die, and it's like, it's a nightmare. It's very annoying. It's not really annoying, it's a core part of the game. And this to me, it just happens, your investigators, because they have no espionage, and they don't really have much security score, because your Leah will have loads of espionage, so she won't be found that easy. It'll be really hard to find her. So she'll essentially never die, most likely. Command counselors, I find, always have loads of security, just because all the stuff that gives you command also gives you security. Yeah, but then your
I will report when
investigators
my mission is complete.
are going into very dangerous areas, like scouting out aliens, enemy countries, and they're just very vulnerable. So having a little bit of 2 espionage on Alp will just mean Alp will die less. So we will increase Alp's administration so that he can get this. So he can have more investigation. We don't have any Germans, so we can't get this. That would be good though. We don't have any control points in Taiwan, so we can't get that. But we do have control points in America, so we can get this. So what these flags means is you either need a councillor from that country, or you need to have a control point in that country. And yeah, that is... Usually you have like a... It can be nice to get a diverse council. I don't know how diverse our council is. We're kind of all from rubbishy countries. India doesn't have many great orgs. Kazakhstan, if it gets eaten by Russia, maybe. A lot of this depends on, do these countries... Like, if Turkey joins the EU, out will be more useful. And of course, it's always amazing to have an American, because so many American orgs. Other than getting an American councillor, if you're not going America, it's not that worth going for. It's more of a nice to have.
Initiating recon.
So we need influence, because
Eyes up.
we're getting this. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and put it in unassigned org. The reason why is it costs 1 and grants public campaign mission. So later on in the game, if we just want to spam public campaigns with people like Sydney who can't do it, we can just give him this and then he can do public campaign. You can just switch orgs in and out. So just having orgs with missions that you like, essentially you can add them to your councillor, do that mission, and then when that's over, you take them off. So we'll have 1 or 2 of those sitting around. Influence. Influence.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
We've been enjoying
The situation
really good
remains
influence
chaotic.
for so long because of our global popularity. Because global popularity gives you influence. And our global popularity has tanked 9% because we've been buffing up America. So one of the things that can be fun to do is to just send your councillor to just a country with a high population and then just do it. But usually the countries will all do unity to try and stop you.
The orders?
Ready to go.
Where do you need me?
Your orders.
Ready.
I'm here.
What's the op?
Just keep America at 0,
Standing by.
please.
Offering support.
Oh no, so advice
Ready for
costs 10 influence. We can't be doing that.
Initiating deep cover.
Reporting in.
Another thing we
I will
want
try to sway
are
the public.
these. These are orgs which give you administration. The problem with these is that they cost money.
Standing by.
You know what we didn't lose? It was a single United Emirates
We'll bring
thing.
this nation
Let's get the
to our side.
executive so we can
Acknowledged.
fully spoils it.
Eyes up.
I'm here. Going silent.
On Overwatch.
Okay. Welfare, 4.1, so it's now 4.0. 9.4, so we're nearly at 4.0. Keep this up for a little bit longer, but not too much longer. Rest value of 1.3.
Order is returning.
Of course, there was an accident.
How are we doing for global text then? Okay, here we go. We've only done it. And she done it.
We'll be ready for
Leah
you
has
boys.
found alien abductions in the Khartoum region of Sudan. So one of the things with alien agents is where we can send our agents literally anywhere in the world. Where, our agents are currently... We can just click on a region and we go there. Alien agents, until the late game, where they get this ability, when they get this... Until the late game, alien agents can only move 1 square from where they are. So if an alien agent does a mission in Sudan, they can then do a mission in Nyala here, in Benghazi, in Luxor, in Asmara, or in Mekele or Juba. That's it. They can only do it in neighbouring provinces. What that means is because all aliens have landed over here, we have no abductions and no aliens in America. This is one of the reasons why America is such a good start, because often the aliens just won't touch it for ages. And aliens build up abductions in provinces, and aliens usually need about 15 of them in a province. I think that's like the max, but they kind of want to get like 10 or so, because then that gives them bonuses to when they're trying to mind control you. So they essentially need to sit around and abduct over and over and over again in the same provinces. And aliens just haven't had time to build. They have 0 abductions in any of these provinces. So it means that we are completely safe from aliens for the foreseeable future, whereas Russia might just be covered in abductions by this point, depending on wherever the aliens have gone. Which, yeah. Oh, a meteor's about to hit the International Space Station. It literally did nothing. Okay. Okay, so we've had it Ireland for 180 days, so we're allowed to do stuff. Which basically means, because we own the top control point, which is the executive, which is like the government, we can join federations and stuff. But we don't want to do anything like that. We literally don't care. Spoils me. A 100 influence. I completely forgot about this. It's still there, okay. Before we forget, Air Force Research Laboratory plus 20% military, let's go, yes. I know it's not going to be gone for ages, but I'm that scared. K 100 when we... Oh no, this will put us in negative. Sensitive military secrets have been leaked by United Arab Emirates. But they're spying on their allies. Well, they've been spying on their allies. Do we care that they're spying on their allies? This will put us in a negative, even though we have 2, this will put us on like negative 98. We will gain 50 ops. No. It's painful, but we'll do that. Just one of those annoying events. So, Sydney.
Ready for my mission.
Investigate
Standing
Karakoram.
by for orders.
Reporting in.
What's the op?
Aliens like to go for better countries, so they'll probably try and come up here for like Egypt, or they'll try and move towards Nigeria.
Where do you need me?
Okay, good job, Svetlana. No one has touched Japan. It's such a big, good nation that just no one has cared about. We have the control points. I might go for it. Just because I imagine it would be a good spoils nation. No one has touched Taiwan either. Just big, powerful democratic nations that AI just haven't cared about. Yeah, let's just return home and
I will tell our story.
do that.
Where do you need me? We'll turn down the heat.
Give that a command.
Ready.
Let's go. Okay. Beautiful. We have found
Surveying
alien
the
abductions. This
Setting
helps
watch.
us a lot.
We've moved the needle.
Let's get rid of Unity if she's going to be handling it.
Things are stabilizing.
And more abductions in Nyala. Very good. So if we can just kind of keep following the agent around, keep investigating its abductions, every single time we do one of those missions, we get a 1% research boost to aliens.
Recon complete.
So it went from 3% there to 4%. Because we just completed that mission.
Chancellor, I have worrying news regarding alien behavior.
The disappearances are not worrying in their number. Humans kill each other in greater numbers on an hourly basis. But in what they imply. Abductions imply research, imply selection. But they are action one performs upon lesser creatures. We capture a shark or a rare bird for study. We do not do the same with our neighbour. As yet, many people still hold out hope for cooperations with the aliens, but as this news spreads, their numbers will plummet. Our list of allies may soon grow thin indeed. So yeah, the alliance is not going well, because the aliens do not seem... They seem to view us as lesser, which doesn't help, quite frankly. We have a great list of names, each one a missing person. Its size is dispiriting. There are many reasons the aliens could take so many people, and very few are good. Already we're hearing murmurs. Some say that war is the only option, others that the aliens will inevitably conquer us. Perhaps both are correct. So some people are like, let's go join the resistance, and some people are like, let's go join the protectorate. But we have to not fall for it. Next one, allows faction to detect alien contact with humans. Alien methods. So, let us do alien methods. The next part of the main quest. Let's rush that one up.
Your orders? We'll recon the site.
Ready for my mission.
Now, for right now, because we haven't advanced the main quest, we can't actually detect alien
On
agents.
Overwatch.
What's the up?
Where to?
Ready.
So let us public
Making our
campaign.
case.
Where do you need me?
At your service.
Oh, I thought,
Setting a
to be honest,
watch.
I thought you were Leah.
Standing by.
Ah, Ramal, I'm sorry.
Restoring order.
Mexico is having a bit of an identity crisis with one half humanity first.
Enemy is a threat. Cease your activities against us or suffer the consequences.
He just said something different than what's written here, and also the audio was messed up. I don't know what happened there. You may think your desire to collude with the invaders is noble, but it only hastens our destruction. So they have found us, and they want me to give them this org for nothing. What a deal. How about I don't do that? How about you give me something for nothing? No. The audacity of Khan's Castillo to just
Initiating
demand
surveillance.
something for nothing. Absolute nerves on that guy. I think with Hans Castillo's outrageous demands and discovery of alien abductions, I'll end episode 3. Healthcare, American welfare, not going great. Only 4 points per clear. Actually, it's going all right. We were at like 4.2 earlier. We're now at 4. So, and we've barely done it for any period of time. So that's going well for us. Hopefully, America will be stable enough that it can kind of survive on its own when it gets messed up by the alien arrival, with alien agents trying to grab points, with all kinds of nonsense going on. It just needs to be in a position where it can sit strong, sit on itself, and not crack under pressure. And so yeah, I will see you in episode 4.